Good evening, everyone, and JM Ocean Avenue ambassadors. I'm really excited for this evening. Now, first, I want to thank Scott and Theta and Nate and everyone who helped put this together. And I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I've seen everybody getting excited, wondering what is a sensory journey. And I first want to tell you what prompted this. You know, I get a lot of emails and messages from all the ambassadors, and I love it. I feel so blessed that I get to be in touch one-on-one with you. And I get a lot of good questions, but one that really struck me last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, was a new ambassador that wrote and said, I'm new to the business, I love your product, but what is the 1 or 2 best tips you can give me? The best facts that you can give me for sharing your 2-minute miracle? And I was talking to Frankie about it, and we thought, isn't it funny, but it really clicked with me that out of all the decade of 2-minute miracle demos that we've done over the last 10 years, and I mean it's thousands and thousands, there's never been a fact that sold our product. But it's been the experience. It's actually the experience of using the 2-minute miracle gel that makes a difference. And it really hit me that the one thing I really need to show you is how to sell the experience and not the product. And this is why I wanted to get involved with doing a sensory journey, because I want to show you how you can demonstrate. You know, sometimes I think we get so carried away at doing demonstrations. We're actually demoing to people and on people, and we're going through the demo and we're getting excited and we're doing all the talking and we're telling them what they notice and we're telling them what they feel, because we know we're excited already. But we're not involving them in the process. We're not letting them experience their sense of touch and the sense of texture and the sense of aromas. And I want everyone to do something right now. Now, 2 things. If you brought your Ice Elements product, the 2-minute miracle gel, the Radiance Souffle, and your C5 serum to the call, I want you to take off the lids, open them all up. I've got all mine ready right here, because we're going to walk through the journey together. The other thing is, throughout the call, this webcast, you're going to hear me ask you for keywords, descriptive words. Now go ahead and shout them out. I can't hear you, but I want you to hear yourself. I want you to hear the words that you should be using, the words that you want to help share with your prospect. Now first, I want everyone to shut their eyes just for a moment. Humor me if you will. Once again, I can't see you and you can see me, so I'm not going to shut my eyes. But I want you to think about the last dinner that you had out, the last memorable meal you ate. And what about it sticks in your mind? Is it the recipe? Like how many ounces of meat, to how many cups of broth, to how many tablespoons of seasoning they used? I doubt it. But what I bet does resonate in your mind is the aroma and the ambiance and the texture of the food and the colors. Everything that resonates with you. Now, what I want to do is show you that it's proven that when senses are tapped into and you touch on all the senses on any experience, the memory is that much more memorable, and all the positive feelings that go along with that experience are memorable. And that's how we create great memories and great experiences. So the first thing I want to do is have you open your 2-minute miracle gel. Now, when I demonstrate mine, the first thing that I like to do in a demo is show the texture. And when you're doing your demonstration, you should mound this up on your finger and show your prospect, look at this, look at the texture of this gel, and have them touch this. Now, when you look at this, what words come to your mind? For me, it's soft, it's smooth, it's cooling, it's refreshing. Have them give you words that maybe stick out in their mind. Ask them if they've ever used other exfoliators and show that this is void of any grains or abrasives or acids. But look at this. This is just like a pure aloe vera gel. Now the next thing I like to show them too is the color. because it's a natural pink color. So once again, refreshing, bright, smooth. What are some of the words that you use to describe the 2-Minute Miracle Gel texture? Now, when you're doing the demonstration, the next thing we want to do is use your sense of sight. Give the customer a mirror and ask them to hold the mirror up in their hand and do what we call touring the face. Go around the face and show them what you notice about their skin. Maybe it's dull skin, maybe it's dry skin. How about areas of crow's feet, enlarged pores? And ask them to look in the mirror and tell you what they see. Once again, we're going to try to get all of their senses in it. So we want to know, what do they see about their skin that they would like to change? And I can tell you, everybody will give you a list long of what it is about their own skin that they don't like. And then, as you apply the gel, have them get involved. Apply the gel, put it onto their face or their hands, and ask them to feel the texture. And ask them for the words that they would use to describe what they're feeling. I can tell you over the years, and you probably know this from doing it yourself, you're going to hear refreshing, cooling, soothing, rejuvenating. But you want them to enforce these words, so ask them to tell you what they're experiencing. Now go ahead and start to rub. And as you're rubbing, what do you feel? For me, it feels soft. It feels smooth. It feels refreshing. It feels relaxing. It's like a mini massage. And ask them to touch their face and start to rub. And you're going to hear words that they feel to describe it for them. And then as they're rubbing and start to see the balls of dead skin rolling up, you can explain what's going on. Explain to them the dead skin's starting to roll up. And then ask them what they notice about this. What do they see? What does the texture change feel like to them? Get excited. I always get really excited. When I feel it going from a gel to a runny liquid, I get excited because I know what's coming next. And so you want to share this with them. So go ahead and rub and feel that texture and look at the balls of dead skin that are starting to roll up and ask them what they see. What do they notice? Then at the end of the demonstration, you're going to take the cloth, you're going to remove it. Now, once again, a lot of times we go through and we'll say to them, oh, wow, your skin feels great, or it looks great, but we haven't shown them what we see. So once again, I like to go back, hand them a mirror again, and say, now I want you to look and see what we've done, and show them that you've smoothed out the skin. The pores look smoother, they look softer, the skin looks glowing, the skin looks bright. And then ask them to describe what they see, and then have them touch their face. So we're looking at what they see, and we're having them experience what they feel. What does their skin feel like to them? Porcelain-like, smooth, soft. Okay, I want to show you a demo. And I know a lot of you have probably seen me do this before, but the reason why I like this is we did this on TV for years, and this is a great visual. And when you're doing home parties, I encourage everyone to do this because this is the moment when everybody understands why you need to exfoliate. Now, I'm using a blue glove because it's coming through the computer, you can see it better. But what I like to do is do a quick demo to show why you need to exfoliate. Because when you have a glove on, you can see this barrier, right, of skin. This is like a barrier over your skin, and when your skin is dead, it's blocking your skin. So no matter how many serums and lotions and potions and creams you mound on, you're never going to get through that barrier. But what the 2-Minute Miracle does, that no other product can do, because we're not scraping away the skin, we're not being aggressive, agitating the skin, we're rolling away the dead skin as they saw. We're removing the dead skin gently. So now, when you apply any type of anti-aging treatment over the surface, you're applying it to clean, rejuvenated, hydrated, balanced, cleansed, toned, exfoliated skin. And now the other products are going to make an amazing difference, and ask them if they understand that. Show them this glove demo. It's so effective, and you really are, I was surprised, but on television, when we started doing that demo, people really understood what we were doing and the purpose of exfoliating. Now I'd like to move on to the Radiant Souffle. You know, we named the Radiant Souffle, and we went through a lot of different versions. It's amazing how many different versions of a product we go through. because I really want to make these an experience for you. Anybody can put together a cream, but to make it hydrating but not heavy, to make it light but something that can penetrate, to make it feel refreshing and soothing and great on your skin where it doesn't feel occlusive or heavy, it takes a lot of adjusting. So what we did is we named this a souffle. And what I like to do is show them the texture. Dip into your jar. Ask them to dip into your jar. And do you see the little peak that this forms on your skin? To me, these almost look like little elastic bands that are just going to pull my skin together. But the reason why this is important is because you can see that this has a nice body to it. It's not watery. We use concentrated ingredients. We don't use fillers, but it's got a great texture. And then what I do is have them apply this either to their face on one side, because I want to save the other side for the C5, or to their hand. And I want you to notice what I just did. As I rub this cream in, instantly, it doesn't turn white, it doesn't turn foamy, it goes right into the skin. Now the reason why that's significant is because if you take a lot of your lotions that you have at home, and maybe you'll notice this when you start putting on body lotions or other facial lotions, they start turning white. And that's because they have surfactants or soap-like filler in them. This melts right into the skin. And ask them to feel this. And I hope all of you are using our souffle. I will tell you that people go crazy over the souffle. Number one, the fragrance. So I ask you to make sure that you're asking your prospects, smell the aroma of the souffle. It's got a natural grapefruit peel oil in there. Now the grapefruit peel oil is in there because it helps refine the texture of skin. It helps to refine pores. It helps to make your skin look tight. But grapefruit, and this is really interesting because we did a lot of studies on finding the right scent, and I was really surprised that actually around the world, some fragrances are considered offensive. Just like maybe we love vanilla, but in other countries, vanilla is an offensive fragrance. We don't use any artificial fragrance. We use all natural fragrance. And the interesting thing about grapefruit was in Psychology Today magazine, they had published a study that they took 30 men and they showed them photos of women and asked them to document the women's age. I think this is really cool. And then they waited a couple weeks, had them come back, and they had them smell different scents. And the only scent that changed the opinion of the men's perspective of these women's photos were when they smelled grapefruit. When they smelled grapefruit, almost across the board, they all rated the average age of the women, the same photos they had already seen, to be 6 to 10 years younger after smelling grapefruit. And they've studied this and they found that grapefruit is a refreshing feeling. It's a happy feeling. It elevates a mood. So this is why we like putting this in our product, but also this is something that you want to share with whoever's using it. Make sure they smell how refreshing it is, and then ask them what comes to their mind when they think of grapefruit. Maybe it's happiness, maybe it's summer, just toning, just what kind of emotions does it conjure up? Now we show them the texture, and what I like to also do then is go ahead and give them back the mirror. We want to get all their senses in, so we want them to see. We go ahead and apply the cream one side of their face, rub that in, let them look at their skin. Look how glow boosting the Radiance Brightening Souffle is. Look how hydrating it is. It instantly will plump the skin. And we're going to see sustained changes over time, but instantly you're going to notice and they're going to notice a change in the texture of their skin. And then ask them once again, feel your face and describe to me how it feels. You know, I really want to, I know you're getting the idea. I really want to make sure that we are not just doing the demonstration ourselves, but that we're actually engaging emotionally our prospects so that by the time we're done with all three products, they love the way they feel, they love the way they look, they love the textures, they love the aromas, and they remember the experience. They're going to remember how they look and feel, and that's going to stick in their mind. All right, so after that, then, I want to move on to the C5. Now, this is another, I'm really big on demonstrations, so I'm going to show you something. This is something else that I suggest that you do. Visuals are great at parties. They really give somebody a lasting memory. and it helps cement something in someone's mind of what you're telling them. So what I've done is I've taken these little crystals, and I get these are actually just little Miracle Grow crystals, and you can get these at any Michael's store or Walmart or anything. But the reason why I like these is they actually simulate what our skin cells turn into and look like as we age. And I don't know if you can see these, but they're crunchy, they're flat, they're hard, no bounce, no spring. This is what our skin cells do. After the age of 25, I got bad news for you. We're going backwards. We're going downhill at that time, and everything that we have, all the moisture and plumpness and natural hyaluronic acid and collagen and elastin, all the things that keep our skin plump and resilient are depleting every day. And our skin turns hard, and it turns crunchy, and it loses its bounce. So what I've done is taken what would be the equivalent of our C5 serum ingredients. Now this is for demonstration purposes only. It's actually water, but this is going to simulate what our ingredients do. I'm pouring this into these crystals. And you're going to see in a matter of minutes what this does. As I stir this, we're starting to build the body. We're starting to build the thickness. We're starting to build the plumpness to the point we're starting to build the foundation. We're starting to build the firmness and support to the point where I can actually in minutes balance a spoon inside of these crystals. Now this is significant, and I'll show you why. Because what's going to happen as we talk about the C5, you're going to see these little, what I call skin cells, start to expand and get larger and more plump and more dewy and more cushiony. And that is exactly the same visual of what happens to our skin cells when you start to use our C5 serum. The ingredients in there will make a difference. So I wanted to show you that because we're going to come back to it in about another couple minutes, and I'll show you what this glass went from here to now these unbelievable, large, plump, firm skin cells, so to speak. So when you're applying the C5, now, first of all, you know we've got some awesome new packaging coming out, and I can't wait to the big reveal. But what's going to be significant is it is in a measured unit dose. So we're going to only use 2 pumps. So 1 full pump, a second full pump. And this is all someone needs for a full face and their neck and décolleté area. This was done this way because 2 measured doses will give you the ingredients that you need in the right levels to be able to get the results that we're publishing that you see. But what I want you to do is take the C5, and hopefully you've done the radiance on one side of their skin. Now I want you to apply the C5 to the other side. And let's go back to now discussing the texture. First of all, I think this is luxurious. It's lightweight, but it is so luxurious, and you can feel the slip and the slide and the natural ingredients and the natural oils. And as I'm rubbing this, I can feel this just penetrating into my skin, and my skin becoming so silky, but firm. Now, not tight and dry, but silky and firm. So I want you to put this on their face and ask them to rub this in. And go ahead and apply it under their neck and onto their chest and onto the décolleté, and ask them what they feel. And you're going to hear words just like I described. Silky, smooth, luxurious. I like to use the word concentrated. There is no water in our C5 serum, so we have given you the most high impact concentrated product that I could put together at all the highest levels. And you feel it as it goes into the skin. And it's going to take about maybe a couple minutes to actually dry all the way. And you can even let them know your skin's going to go actually through a phase where it might feel a little tacky as it dries. And this is because it's adjusting the pH. It's going to, and you don't need to let them know that, but this is for you to know. It changes the pH. It lowers it and then brings it back up to base, and that's a good thing. As it lowers it, the ingredients are penetrating and they're going deep. As you know, our peptide is proven to be able to go to 5 collagen levels, 5, whereas other peptides can only go to 3. So as you rub this in, you're really going to get the deeper benefit of changing the dewiness and the plumpness and the firmness of skin, as well as getting into the fine lines and wrinkles, and once again, plumping those up. So ask them to describe this. I even like to go ahead and maybe pick out an area of a crow's feet right to the side of their eye and pat it in. You can go under the eye, on that bony area under the eye, pat it out to the corners, and let it dry during the demo. Give them the mirror, show them the crow's feet. They'll show you. If you ask them what about their eyes bother them, they're going to always say, I've got little lines right here. And go ahead and apply it and tap it in. And then tell them we're going to look at it at the end, because what you will see is as our ingredients go in, those ingredients that I talked about in these crystals, which, by the way, now, look at this. Can you see this? Can you see what's happening to the crystals that we had before that were hard and crunchy? Now they're spongy, they're soft, they're moist, they're flexible, they're elastic. This is exactly what the C5 serum will do for your skin as you use it. Now the neat thing about it is our studies show that 8 hours after application, the hydration level of skin has increased over when you first applied it. The relative hydration, the sustained level of moisture, 8 hours later is higher. But that's why the studies on the actual collagen and lifting and firming and diminishing wrinkles show studies at 7 days and 15 days and 28 days. And then where all peptides stop making a change at 28 days, our studies go out 60 days. We beat everyone because we're able to go from flat, dry, sagging, dull skin to hydrated, plump, bright, smooth, spongy, elastic skin. And all of those little ingredients get into the fine lines and wrinkles and plump them up. So that concludes tonight's sensory journey. The main point that I hope that now as you do the demonstration, some of the things we've talked about tonight, and certainly you can work on this on your own, find the best way for you to describe it. Find the words that make you feel comfortable, but make sure that you're also involving your prospect. Get them involved in the process. Let them touch it. Let them smell it. Let them feel it. Let them experience what you want them to know about the product. So that's why we're going to talk about always sell the experience, not the product. And I promise you, you will leave the most lasting memories that will lead to success, as well as increased sales, but giving someone the opportunity to change the way their skin looks and feels if they just give you 28 days. Thank you so much for tonight's call and for joining me. And keep on the lookout. I'm sure we'll be doing other live web broadcasts. And it's been a great sharing this last 20 minutes with you. Thank you so much.